when I was just a young lad in Bulgaria who drove trains for a living. Boy, did I love my job. I had always dreamed of having a job working on the trains back in Bulgaria when I was a young lad. I love to make the train go as fast as possible. Unfortunately, one day I was a little bit too reckless and caused a bit of a crash. I made it out, but one person died. Well, needless to say, I had to go to court. And I was found guilty because I was guilty as fish. And I was sentenced to death by electrocution. Obviously, that day came eventually. I requested a single banana as my last meal. And after eating the banana, I was strapped into the chair. The switch was flown. Holy shiggers. You know what that means? What does that mean? You know what that means? What does that mean? Oh, it's the anniversaries. Oh, the anniversaries. That reminds me of when I was a young lad in Bulgaria and I was driving the trains and I got strapped into that chair and they gave me that one last meal. And I said, banana. And they gave me a banana. That's my last meal. And then they strapped me in again even tighter. You know, they had me strapped in before I ate the meals, like that in Bulgaria. The switch was flown, the sparks flew, and smoke filled the air. Not snorkel smoke or nothing. But nothing happened. I was perfectly fine. At the time, there was an old Bulgarian law that said a failed execution was a sign of divine intervention. So I was allowed to go free. And I got my old job back driving the trains. Not many people with my skill set in Bulgaria, you see, so, they took me on board even though others wouldn't have. Excuse me, a human needs to come on screen for a second. So I got my old job back. Yeah, fuck off me. Right, so I got my old job back. And I went straight back to driving my train with reckless abandon. And unfortunately, the train crashed again, right? This time, 2 people died. And the trial, the court, the trial, I had the same lawyer. I mean, it was shit. It was shit, really. And it kind of went the same way. Right, and resulting in the same sentence and everything. Electrocution. Execution by electrocution. Or some other technical term. And for my final meal, I requested 2 bananas. 2 bananas. And after eating the bananas, I was strapped into the chair, even tighter, because of course, they strap you in before you eat your meal. All very awkward. But even tighter. And the switch was flown. And the sparks flew and smoke filled the room. And again, it wasn't even snorkel smoke, though I had some later because I, again, was unharmed. Amazing. Absolutely amazing, huh? Amazing stuff. Well, this, of course, meant I was free to go. And once again, I went straight back to my old job on the trains. Loves the train, so he does. You'll never guess what happened? Hello? Yes. Yeah, there's a little patio with grass underneath the arches. I'll come to the front door. Okay, so are you under the arches? Cool, well, you'll see a little patio up some wee steps. I'll come out and shout to you. Do you see the arches? 236. Hello? 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 I've just been looking for you. I am. I don't see you. I've just been looking for you on the street. You know the can gate. You know where that is? Under the arches. It's all right. No problem. So yeah. Sorry, pardon me. It's difficult. The maps here in Bulgaria are all very confusing because they were made back in Soviet times, and it's very similar to the trains. You know, they're done differently, a different gauge, right? And you know, the increments, the measurements. Some of them were even made wrong on purpose. It's a long story. Anyway, back in Bulgaria, after I'd had my 2 bananas, and they strapped me back in again. You know, on the big day. Right, everyone was there. Were you there? Everyone was there. Everyone kind of remembers we were there back there. Because at this stage, it was very unusual. It was very unusual. You know? Bit of a celebrity. Whoa. Loved it. So, yeah. So was this the 2 bananas? Anyway, no, this was later on, right? This was after I got my job back. Yeah, this was I crashed again, right? So when I was a young lad back in Bulgaria, right, I crashed again. Can you believe it? Right? I can't believe it. I can't even believe it. Yeah, I know that happened, right? So here I am, right? In court, same lawyer. That was probably the problem, you know, that was probably the problem. And so, yeah, train, 3 people dead, all my fault, reckless abandon, you know, terrible. I was going too fast, so it was. You never would, I think I would have learned my lesson. I thought I would have learned I was sure I'd learned my lesson. But here I am back there, and they say, what do you want for your final meal? And I say, I want 3 bananas. 3 bananas. 3 bananas. 3 bananas. And the guy strapped me in, and then he says, what are you having? And I was like, 3 bananas. And he was like, 3 bananas? Free bananas! You know what? I've had it with your fucking bananas and you get off scot-free. You're not getting anything to eat. And I was like, but I'm really starving. I'm so starving. And I didn't know what the banana, and he's like, nope, I don't know what the secret with these bananas is. But I'm strapping you in even tighter now and you're not getting your food. And even if it's against protocol. And so he did, he strapped me in even tighter. And with nothing to eat. And he pulled a switch and the sparks flew and filled the room. And the man, he was all surprised because I was fine. Totally fine. And he looked across and he said, oh my God, what happened? And I said, it's got enough bananas, had nothing to do with it. I'm just a bad conductor. I'm just a bad conductor. Oh, that's what happens. And then after that, they changed it. So this was the story back in Bulgaria. And so then I left and go, you never know what job I got after that, right? You'll never believe it, right? Tell you this and I'll tell you no more, right? After that,
and you're gonna get fucked up.
here, tell you what, right? I'm not 100% sure this video is going to last because I've kind of doxed my Bulgarian location there. So there might have to be adjustments made. I was such a terrible conductor. And so here we are back. And you know, you're back and you're like, well, where are we back at? We're back over here, so we are. With this, you need to have one of these, sort of like compulsory, or at least something similar. And we've got this thing, which you can see, look. Woohoo, it's a hand. And then it does stuff. We even did stuff because, you know, the celebrations of the anniversary and whatnot, but the wheel didn't do anything. It's spectacular, right? Bing bong. The wheel is on. There's this secret URL down there. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. And we're going to spin the wheel and we're going to talk about the charts. We did the weekly time frame before price had closed, before the week had finished. And it was all excellent. 123, spot 40. Something, right? 1, 2, 3, spot 4. Excellent. We loved that. It wasn't a negative day, so that's not so terrible. We did close below max pain for GME and talking about AMC. On the other hand, you know, wonderful, like we're down 0.15%, and also, like, neither of them really moved. So interesting. We did the TA at the start of the day, and it was fantastic for the whole week. But we'll go back and we'll check in on anything anyone likes. Hello, I'm trying to find the chat room for Doomslayers. Am I in the right place? Hello, Wilkie Wilkes. Hello, sir. Sir Wilkie Wilkes, sir. You certainly are in the correct location. You're in the correct location. Do you know the password? K-base with a sticker is a banana. Sticker, and it is a banana. And the actual banana hasn't made it. The actual banana didn't quite make it.
Fax arrival from username value.
give me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby.
Out there at the minute who think, you know, that's a huge chunk of margin that goes into the return. retracements, but it doesn't matter. I didn't see what else was on there that was relevant. So you go start as we normally would. and took in the horizontal levels of support and resistance. Here's where you... Wow, I've got loads of different tools at once. No thanks. And orange will do for now. We'll update that later. It's tough to find, you know, on the weekly there. On the weekly, definitively, no, you wouldn't necessarily know. Right, we'll start back on the daily then. And you got that huge gap that was filled. Price action's been in a downtrend since, with two main areas to look to. Take that downward sloping horizontal resistance. Look, but pardon me, sloshing too much already in a rocky pre-sloshing slosh, dream slosh, sloshy face sauce. So you could also take this in, and that's like silly doing that there. We'll just start with a channel instead of that downward sloping diagonal. We were trying to find horizontal resistance, Jamie. We were trying to find it already. Like, what you at? So back to that job, the job we actually had, and we'll say, you know, you had something on the approach to this area. Not really, like, not really. It's kind of stretching it a little bit. And we could just go with the bottom side of the gap here. So we'll do that instead, and you've only really tested it from one side. You came in and you had this. But apart from that one candle where you approached it from above, you've not. And then I'm only putting that in because you don't really have anything else. This one you sort of skirted along there for a bit, and that was a subsequent high. So we'll give that. But you're really pushing it here. And after that, you could definitely draw on one Fibonacci. Let's say, I mean, what is that as an extension? 1618 extension so far. So you would say this thing has collapsed entirely, completely collapsed now. And anything beyond that, interesting for other reasons, but you made it to an incredibly low area. And so wonderful, right? Absolutely wonderful. Isn't that wonderful? Starting point of opportunity, possibly. Overall, don't know what, this is a new low, right? This is like, you know, you've had loads of opportunities on this thing in terms of volatile moves to the top side that have been like huge percentage increases and whatnot in terms of, and they've come at timely periods, but all of them have resulted in like bad news subsequently. And the horizontals and the Fibonacci's, you can see you've got one extension here. To go back up again, then you'd probably take it from the most recent high of this Fibonacci here and see where would you look for back above the 236. You'd need to be back above 622, what is it? It says it here, 6.38. You could easily do that. Get back up towards the golden pocket. That'd be an 886 perhaps of this slightly higher area before this actual breakdown, this part of the trend rather than the high. And you could come back up there and that would be like fine even if this thing was dying, right? So there's that. It's not happening right now, not at this very second in time. That's only got down to the daily, so we'll see more information in a minute. But, you know, putting it in context, not of necessarily the comments there that Lisa made reference to, but just generally speaking, looking at the chart, you can see that it's been putting in lows and lower lows. And most recently, it's the lowest ever low. So it's in a downtrend, and that's a severe downtrend that's been existing for a long period of time. So not wonderful overall. You can see here on the RSI that you're higher low so far and a lower low in price action. So you get back above the 236 from the high previous in the trend. Let's go with, like, you know, I mean, where we were was important. So that's 6.38. That's the first 236 that you might be paying attention to. Might be. See, it might, because it's very difficult to say that this overall thing was, you would define a retracement that is like significant to any degree until such times as you're going back against higher highs. So, you know, we can keep that on, but you'd be probably thinking that 236 is all well and good, and that 618 subsequently would be wonderful in terms of a percentage move, but you're not looking at anything that's going to, you know, trigger that at the minute. And in terms of like what's a really significant area, you'd be taking it from that high and saying the 236, right? At that stage you'd be getting beyond it. If you're at the 618, that's beyond the 382. So like an area, anything that was like 732 to up to the top side, like $8, 730 to $8. Be interesting to see it open and closing dailies up there, and then what it would go on and do afterwards. Likely fall back down again. Yo, Dreary Moon, thank you very much. We'll get to this in 2 seconds. made something based on lessons that we've been taught. I only caught that sentence before I got to go check up on what it said, and that's great to hear, buddy. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. So what were we talking about? Right, so this thing, right? You want to define this as bullishly divergent on the low side. Look for reversal, this to move to the top side of a trend. Where would that be, and where would you define it as having kicked off again? Well, you would give it a 638 if you were very happy to go for things. Maybe on a 4-hour time frame, you'd be looking for it to open and close there, not waiting for a daily. And at that stage, right, it's a stock rather than crypto and 4 hours, and you're in a severe downtrend, and you'd be looking to take advantage of bullish divergence and an oscillation at the top side. However that works with regards to your position and how you'd be managing it or trading, depending on whether you've got any or not. You'd be looking at recoveries of this area changing the your perspective with regards to the magnitude of this move compared to its previous low. And here I can see in a 4-hour time frame you're not divergent, so that's not enough. You know that's not enough, despite how much of a cripplingly, desperately sad information it is to see it put in lower lows. On the 4-hour time frame, get out of my face, why have I always got the wrong thing on? That stupid tool there. That you've got a lower low here on RSI and on price action, so it's not actually divergent. On the daily time frame you are, because you're not yet lower on RSI, but that's nothing to say that this trend's been arrested, although you have reached a significant extension from a very important Fibonacci that you never put in a higher high. Then you obviously have put in lower lows, and then you'd probably think to this range from that low to that high, and what sort of retracement would that be? That might be your next stop off if you are looking for the next 1618. That's down at 376. That could easily be something on the cards for this thing if it doesn't take advantage of the fact that you've got some weakness to the momentum on the forcing it down. Overall, that might speak to the trend becoming exhausted, but it would rely on this thing having significant enough trading activity with regards to its own history for that to play out and whatnot. Otherwise, it could just be wiped away. Get felt, Fridays, darn tooting it. If you're not felt, what's wrong with you? So this thing, putting in lower lows, not putting them in on the RSI yet on the daily time frame, but you could expect to get a number of touches of that before your trend was arrested, and it's certainly not looking like it's doing that at the minute. You want to get back above a 236. That's around, like we said, 638 is the first place you'd be looking to. There's a zone there from 730 up to $8, where if it got beyond it, you'd be surprised, and we'd be looking to see, that might be more than just a bullish divergence alone pulling it there, but you would probably put in a couple of touches or something in advance of it, because you're not, you've also got that on the RS, the histogram there, though that has just started to pick up and it's been quite violent, and maybe that's due to these comments that at least talking about, though I haven't seen them myself. I haven't seen them, and we can check on them. We can check on them. So I resisted looking at them until we'd looked at the chart. It doesn't sound like, from what you were saying, she's talking the stock price up very much. But whatever, right? She's realist. So here we are, right? We're looking at this, and and it's a good company. It's got a lot of different opportunities, but then I haven't seen these comments. So what's going on? So what is she saying? Starting to get worried now. But anyway, the charts do point out that it could go lower, and that might be the next area you're looking to, 369 below, 372, whatever that is. And then, that, might be a number of twists and turns along the way. Overall, right, it's not like, what did these comments say? Short seller research firm called the company Overvalued. A short seller research firm. Oh, a research firm, aye. They're good, these great research firms are like, I need you to do some research and come out with reasons for. And they said they were overvalued. Well, they may well be overvalued. Right, I mean, what valuation are they giving it? Who is it? This is the saying that it's trading for too high a price, so it needs to go less than 5.60 free. When they're going to be installing all these chargers all over every bridge over every quay, and they're going to have every charger on every square inch. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying silly things now, but yeah, so they think they're overvalued. That's super interesting. The charts don't say things like that, They'll have indicators that will talk about overbought and oversold. In this particular instance, you can see your divergence is coming in an oversold area, which gives it a real validity if you do start to put in these moves to the top side. And obviously this thing's like a growth company, mostly driven by what we expect future evidence to be, which would be momentum. I too think things that I am short on are overvalued. I too think things are short on are overvalued. That's a nice way of putting it. For some reason I couldn't read it. I too think that things I'm short on are overvalued. I too think this. I think this too. I too think this. I also share those feelings too. And it's probably true, you know, I'm probably right, probably is. It doesn't mean the charts agree with me though, you know, it just means that, anyway, yeah, so, I mean, I'm at 6.32, well, they got that, how much overvalued, right, because it's just gone down 6 points, and it's put in new lows and that, has it made it there yet, what, and are they thinking it's going to go down to that price, and when it gets there, it's going to be worth that forever? Is that what their analysis is, that this is only going to be worth this price, and it's not worth that yet, right? It's going to be there. It's only worth this much. It's not there yet, but it's going down. And when it gets there, that's where it's going to stay. Is that what they think too? I'm not sure. Everybody has different thoughts about things. It's like Rocky says, everybody's got an opinion. It's like a bum. Everybody's got a bum. And in the middle of that bum, you will find, what is the movie that was? That's a great question. That's now we're starting to, right? I'm working, I can work with that sentence. So, yeah, this thing's putting in lower lows, it's in a downtrend, you probably be able to slap on this huge, massive channel against it. And then, you know, you break out of it, look to your former pivot points and the Fibonacci's levels that we've defined with these previous areas, along with their horizontals, of which there were very few, let's face it, with regards to significant support and resistance, even on weekly time frame, daily time frame. Looking at both of them, you're like, no, well, not really, Tradespotting. It looks a little bit tough everywhere. So you'd be looking at this and thinking, you know, take out this higher high. It was like, at the time, we were all excited, right? This was when we were like, here's a huge opportunity. Whoa. Anyway, that didn't freaking last. But here's this channel you'd be looking at. You're at the low side of that. You know, it's bullishly divergent in the minute. All it needs to do is go back above a 236 in order to suggest it's probably going to a golden pocket, which is the basis line. Having touched the bottom of the channel, even if it is a downward trend, you would expect it to then come to the basis line before breaking, if this is most recently having been at the basis line previously, and it was above it as well, and that's in the context of what's price action's done recently, a lower high, so you could easily see it 780, 776, and that's 25% up where it is at the minute, and like so it could go there, right? That would be taking it back above certain levels, and you'd see that maybe starting to move when it's at 638 or 563 at the minute. You know, catching a knife there on daily time frame, you're not getting many details. 4 hour, you're not getting that bullish divergence, and this thing could sneak along here or break down. If it does break down, there's no area to look to other than extensions from previous Fibonacci's. You're, like I say, you're already on 1618. This is the next one. Does do all of those things? Maybe, right? There's loads of different areas you want to do a Fibonacci extension, measure it, right? You had this breakdown 236. Well, you didn't, I mean, you made a recovery here, but not beyond a 236 though, to the top side on this Fibonacci. Sure, you would have done. So you'd be able to draw like this Fibonacci in here, and you made back round and you clapped down again, right? But at that stage, you know, you didn't really do all that much. Maybe your Fibonacci extension comes in. There's a couple of places you might want to draw it. Where are you? There you are, one of them, and somewhere like that. Oh shit, I've just done it. Ah, sugar. Wrong. Stretch it out so I can see what's going on. That will be one of them. I've not even got you, have I? Oh, I have. Good, here you are. Whew. Thanks, buddy. I'm not muted, am I? Nope, but that's one thing. And then, I mean, where are you putting the next little there? Right, so, you know, you've gone through to the 2618 already. That's probably the low in around these areas, right? Probably is. Could bounce here. You're looking to take it to, maybe, right, catch a knife, take it all the way up to 633. Oh my God, the heights, the crazy heights. And that's something. If you know, over after that, it's like what happens. We will measure this probably still in the bearish control zone, and this time frame we're not yet bullishly divergent. So because you know it's the lower and then the lower and whatnot. So you wanted to get it back above that 236. Is that going to happen right now? Maybe not immediately. Does it go there shortly? Maybe if it doesn't just trace along here. If it breaks down, I'd expect to find resistance at this previous level of support. Support. He says. So. You know, people are always saying, like, you know, it's like, people are like, oh, it's overvalued. Aye, right, cool. I mean, why is it overvalued? Okay, it's because of this and that. And it's like, okay, so you're just basing it on what you think could be your understanding, right? Your understanding. And Is it because of like the company's finances, or because of the like the addressable market, like, or is it because of the board's ability to like achieve its own objectives? I mean, do you agree with the board's with the business plan? And like, if you're saying that and you're a short seller and you currently own some of the company, you know, would you consider these companies consider themselves activists? Like, are they run by activist investors, or are they just predatory hedge funds? Like, you know, because their narrative is to accumulate, like acquire the company, unless of course they own a competitor, in which case, like, that's pretty transparent, isn't it? So what's the, you know, so I think, right, I think you'd have to look into these people's, who they are and what they're saying, because the charts look like it's possibly about to bounce, eh? And like, if it makes it above certain levels, it looks like dead obvious where it's going next. And then subsequently, right, there's like even a lower high, right? That'd be like 100% increase in price. So why this, like, you know, I don't know, you know, so in light of their comments, they could shut up and fuck off. Eh? That's what it's like. The charts speak volumes, and if it does break down, there's a level it's going to. This would be the place to look to, right? And it's the starting point of opportunity potentially. You can also obviously look at this on like tiny time frames. There's a 15-minute time frame where there's a flash at 8:26, right? They can fuck off when it starts trending up on smaller term time frames. Just alone, when it starts trending up on smaller, put in a higher high, get back above that 236. That'll start putting in higher highs. You currently like put in a lower low. It was bullishly divergent on a small term time frames. This thing's going to go fucking up to 826 soon. Trying to kick the company to Jeffrey Epstein. Right, well, that flash is severely disconnect coupled from, he's dead and he's a twat, right? And there's 826 on this. I don't know. I mean, to try to connect Eve Go. I mean, seriously, there's a lot of people out there you could probably draw a fucking thread to, take you, Jeffrey Epstein, to take you to the front door of a lot of fucking bastards. And take you a while before you arrived at Eve Go's house. So there's a flash up at 826 and the thing's 563, and that's what would take you there, right? Going beyond those levels, and that's up at the golden pocket, which is it was his what a fanny. They're told fannies, and like, but they should just shut up. You should, when it does go up there, right? Take note of them, clip this, send it to them, say Tradespotting and said you were fannies, and you were told fannies, and everybody watched it at the time knew you were fannies, and we all now forever will know you're fannies. There's like no way back now. You're definitely fannies forever. Fuzzy Panda is making many false logins. I think Fuzzy Panda. I think then these pandas, all they do is sit around and eat all day and that, and you're like, go and shag each other, right? Shag each other so we get some panda stuff, right? Hurry up and shag each other. And they're like, and then they got some rumors they want to spread about that are propagated by short selling hedge funds. Like, oh right, that's what pandas do. I wondered. That's why they're all like ambassadors. Are they not all official ambassadors for China anyway? Most of them are. Go around apologizing, but they don't apologize because they don't even admit it, because you know. So I mean, when will they? Like, probably never. But it's not about that, right? I'm actually a huge fan of China and the pandas. It's about the CCCP. But like, you know, we have enough season one night, and we like China, and I'm getting the wrong reputation. I love the place, so I'm getting the wrong reputation. The place and the people, big time. Pandas, though, you know, ones that write articles that are negative about companies, I don't understand them. I don't understand, right? But then how would I? It's like that time that panda worked into the bar, and then he was like, 2 beers, and the barman was me, right? I was the barman at the time. Where's the camera? It's over there. I'm hiding. How's it going, folks? I was hiding over here. It's great fun, so it was, yeah. And then the barman, that was me. Yeah, that was me back in the day, barman. And Panda, and he wanted a drink, and he had ordered whatever it was, like gin and tonic and that, and he gave me a tenner. And yeah, and then he said, "How much is that?" I was looking at him like, "Oh my god, it's the Panda!" Like, this is crazy. There's a panda, and he was in a bar drinking, and I was serving him booze and that, and it was like, this is super weird. Anyway, you know, stuff happens. So the panda, and I can't really remember it, right? But there's something like that happened. I don't love China, but I do love pandas. Okay, that's good. That's good, right? There's like ways to work with that. You could eventually end up loving China. I prefer koalas over pandas, though. Okay, that's great to know. That's really good to know. You should take note of that, everybody. Panda moan. Yes, this is true too. Did you get shot? Who, dude? Who gets shot? That sounds dangerous. So, well, we caught up with anything here. We did the charts on EVGO, and there's that to aim for eventually. You need to be trending in that direction if you're looking for the trade. Obviously, it's not doing it yet. There is some divergence, but like it's not doing it. 30-minute time frame. Like there's huge amounts of divergence at the minute. But you know, if it's overvalued and whatnot, and some short selling hedge fund says so, then like, why would they be saying that if it wasn't true, right? I mean, it must be true. God, it must be so true. It must be true. Must be. It's definitely true. Guys, I don't know what we're going to do. This is shit. What are we going to do, guys? Hello, Jackalettes. How's it going? How's it going, Jackalettes? Hi, Jamie. Hi. One of these days, I want to hear about Divergence. Yeah. No. You'll have to look for that somewhere else, I'm afraid. No. It's from the it's from the you know, that the scale, the musical scale. Lisa in the chat there will tell you about it. So you get like all different types, but that's not a very good one. What? Yeah, I know you look upset and all. Was a little Tito face. Oh. So we did this, right? And then what was the next thing we were going to do? Well, I wanted to remind everybody that this could potentially collapse, you know. I wanted to remind people this could potentially collapse. This looks like potentially accumulation formation here, which goes like part of a broadening formation. And, you know, maybe you do go up and get a third touch on this up at 105. That'd be a significant percentage upside. Afterwards, maybe, like, you know, this might, like, there's a flash down here. Does it take all of that? Does it break below these areas and come down to, like, you know, this is the stop on a harmonic. And then, like, it's got two harmonics. Get out of my face. It's got two harmonics. The same one. Like, make your mind up, man. Anyway, it doesn't, though. And I don't know if it's right. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm sorry if people love that and that. Like, tried, guys. So anyway, right, this looks like, you know, it could be a little bit further. You get bullish divergence now, though, and this is accumulation formation. If you look at it like as a wedge, and people will be looking at it like that, and if it does break up to the top side, there's your 236. You're nearly at it now. If you break the top side of this wedge and 236, then there's the golden pocket, which at the same time makes this downward sloping resistance. You're probably going to go there, aren't you? Probably. Afterwards, these things, right, they look a little bit dodgy. And how long does that happen? If it happens really quickly, which it could, right, especially if people like large repositioning happens and people are like, ha, I'm excited, and they don't realize that they're being liquidated all over their faces, then you got to be careful up here, and you maybe want to be paying attention to indicators like this one and looking for that divergence there. Anyway, that wasn't the point. We had to get rid of Dreary Rune's message, which you'll have noticed. You won't have, because I'm not on the wheel there. Get it up, Tradespotting. Here we go, folks, from Dreary Moon. What a lovely message it was, too, so it was. I made a little based on the lessons you've taught us. Not much, but I'm just getting started. That's great to hear, man. Like, in terms of a dollar value, that's not to look at now when you're getting started, when, you know, it's a compounding process you're learning here, and it will obviously take time then to see the fruits of your labor. And at first, you will be going through a period of perhaps even reduced immediate returns had you been throwing yourself at stuff in the first instance with no particular plan. Now, when you're trying to learn and put in a compounded process, the benefits of all of that come after a period of time and are exponential. So you have to go through that wee initial dip, that dearth, and that. So at the same time, you might be looking at your return on your trades and thinking in dollar values and not significant enough, or, you know, it's insignificant compared to like other things you're able to achieve with your time or whatever. But that's not the point. It isn't about the dollar value. It's about the percentage return. And then it's about afterwards your percentage success rate. And then it doesn't take long to compound a small position into something significant. And if you've got a power of like, you know, tried and tested strategy behind you and your own confidence in using it, and you can look back and know that it's true rather than some guy on YouTube telling you it works. You've got that written down and you're like, that worked. You know, it would take me forever if I was only making $4 on each one, but you know, over a period of time and doing this right, I only need to get so many right. And on those ones, you learn, you know, not to limit the top side, and some of them will run, your winners will go crazy, and you'll be like, that's brilliant. The return I got on this trade, that trade, the next one, really good. You see people in the chat box there, you know, a number of them, right, don't want to say their names out loud and that, even though they do themselves celebrate their own success. Don't want to put pressure on anybody. But there's lots of people in the chat box there. You'll see them yourself. You know what it's like, man. You've seen it, and they're doing better and better and better and better, right? You'll have seen it, and so you can imagine what it's doing for their accounts and stuff, and that'll be you too. So don't worry about it. It's only a little, right? And I know you don't. You're just saying it. So that's you know. And anytime I respond to a message, whether it be a fax that's come in and I've said your name in my response directly, and nobody notices this, and there's not that many people watching, so they're not going to hear me because I've scared everybody off by making what they would perceive to be this mistake. But I will be responding to comments, whether they're public and they're chat messages or they're faxes or their critiques or their comments and videos afterwards or whatever, or somebody's asked me a question and I might seem angry or incredibly like enthusiastic or take a particular slant with the question that wasn't intentional, like requested in the question or whatever it is that's prompted it. It's because I'm speaking to not just the person who's asked the question, which of course counts for a significant degree of the content that's coming out of my mouth, but also I'm speaking to everybody watching along, and like that comes with so many considerations. Like they're not you, so like the person who wrote the original message, so they won't have the same understanding of it, and they'll see it differently, perhaps. And I have to be aware of all the possibilities and some of the mistakes people make when they read things. So there's that, and there's also like what I would like to emphasize in these messaging, that a core message I want to put across, and how I'd like people to get better at trading to change the way they think about the way they think. So if you feel offended directly by anything I've ever said, tough shit, right? Because I wasn't actually trying to offend you. So like, get the fuck over yourself. That's what I'd say. Disclaimer: nothing Jamie responds to is personal, especially if passionate or angry. That, yes, sir, and get the fuck over yourself. And cheers, everybody. Yeah, and other things. Anyway, that's what it is. So, what's the other stuff? We were talking about that, and that was good. And that's the real estate thing. You can see that on the charts there. It's exciting. What else is there? There's a wheel. I can take control of it for a second. Why don't I do that? Let's do it. There it goes. There's the wheel. And then there's this thing. We like it a lot.
The fax reads message and fax.
The fax doesn't read anything. That's the problem with that particular fax. Gee, America. Yo, Master Buddy, how's it going? Master Buddy. I'm spending a lot of time looking at charts. No greater teacher than experience. Darn tootin', right? Darn tootin'. No greater teacher than experience. Or, yeah, totally. Yeah. Or teaching other people's, like, also a good way of mastering things. I've been learning, darn tootin'. So yeah, cheers everybody. What a noisy drink that was. I'm heading out. What the feck? But have a lovely weekend. Well, you're just up, so that's allowed. How's Saturday over there, Kieran? Yo. So that's the next thing. What was the rest of the message? I'm just getting started trying to change my life. Good one. Good objective. Definitely achievable. Trying to change my life. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Dreary Moon. I wish I could do more. Well, start with yourself, your own account, build things up, and you'll be able to do plenty more. No worries. Good one. Freaking cheers, man. Stick with it. Take care, Kieran's Ghost. Take care. Have a good day out there. Here comes another fax. Oh my God, what is it now? Who is it now? 420? Koala fan. Quality. This is some quality. That's a nice message. Thanks very much. Monster.
999. The fax reads You're missed, always raising hands, light skin tone and fax.
Jamie, you're missed. Always raising hands, light skin tone. What's she all about? That, like, why is she doing that? Eh? Like, I don't know if I trust her. So, JME, you're missed always. Yo, Master Buddy, thank you very much. That's very generous of you. Very much appreciated. The wheel went. I think it was already going, so I'm not able to, like, check in with exactly where it ended there on the last one. Maybe somebody could rewind and tell me, but I'm pretty sure it was green and on Lassies again. Sorry, Lassies. So that's the way it is. So you be responsible now. How's it going, Master Buddy? Thank you very much. You're missed always. You're missed always. We're good friends now, you and I. It's funny, it's like, there's just like I say, everyone's Jamie.
Your pedal extremity.
you're gonna get fucked up.
Fax arrival from username value. The fax reads message and fax.
It's my fault. For a
Fax arrival from username value. The fax reads message and fax.
Fax arrival from username value. The fax reads message and fax. Fax arrival from username value. The fax reads message and fax.
Fax arrival from username value. The fax reads message and fax.
Fax arrival from username value. The fax reads message and fax.
Fax arrival from username value. The fax reads message end fax.
Fax arrival from username value. Fax reads
Fax arrival from username value. The fax reads message and fax.
Fax arrival from username value. The fax reads message and fax.
street where the loyal drums did beat, and those loving English feet they walked all over us. And every single night, when me gal would come home tight, he'd invite the neighbours out with his chorus. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killishandra. Come let us hear you tell how you slandered great Parnell when you thought him well and truly persecuted. Where are the sneers and jeers that you loudly let us hear when our leaders of 16 were executed? Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killishandra. Come tell us how you slew them old Arabs 2 by 2. Like the Zulus, they had spears and bow and arrows. How bravely you faced one with your 16-pounder gun, and you frightened them damn natives to the marrow. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killishandra. Now the time is coming fast, and I think them days are here when each English Johnny and he'll run before us. And if there'll be a need, then our kids will say Godspeed with the verse or two of singing this fine chorus. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killishandra.
We took it all apart, but I'm wishing I'd stay. When I met you in the summer, to my heartbeat sound. How can I say what I'm feeling?
Should old acquaintance.
Fax arrival from Cobalt Mystic 4999. The fax reads your ass. End fax.
The committee, my purchases of GameStop
Bing bong, the price is roll.
my investment in the company multiplied in value many times. For that, I feel enormously fortunate. I also believe the current price of the shares demonstrates that I've been right about the company. A few things I am not. I am not a cat. I am not an institutional investor, nor am I a hedge fund. I do not have clients, and I do not provide personalized investment advice for fees or commissions. I'm just an individual whose investment in GameStop and posts on social media were based upon my own research and analysis. I grew up in Brockton, Massachusetts. My family was not wealthy. My father was a truck driver and my mom a registered nurse. I was one of 3 kids and the first in my family to earn a 4-year college degree when I graduated from Stonehill College in 2009. That was not a good time to be looking for a job. From 2010 to 2017, I worked at a few startup companies, but there were significant periods when I was unemployed. I took an interest in the stock market, and even though I had very little money, I used those times to educate myself and learn more about investing. In April 2019, after nearly 2 years unemployed, I accepted a marketing and financial education job at MassMutual. My wife Caroline and I were thrilled that I had an income and benefits. My job was to help develop financial education classes that advisors could present to prospective clients. I was not a stockbroker or a financial advisor. I did not talk to clients, and I did not recommend stocks for them to buy. Before and after I joined MassMutual, I studied and followed stocks. One of those was GameStop. In early June of 2019, the price of GameStop stock declined below what I thought was its fair value. I invested in GameStop in 2019 and 2020 because, as I studied the company, I became more and more confident in my analysis. Two important factors, based entirely on publicly available information, gave me confidence that GameStop was undervalued. First, the market was underestimating the prospects of GameStop's legacy business and overestimating the likelihood of bankruptcy. I grew up playing video games and shopping at GameStop, and I plan to continue shopping there. GameStop stores still provide real value to consumers and reliable revenue for GameStop. Second, I believe that GameStop has the potential to reinvent itself as the ultimate destination for gamers within the rapidly growing $200 billion gaming industry. GameStop has a unique opportunity to pivot toward a technology-driven business. By embracing the digital economy, GameStop may be able to find new revenue streams that vastly exceed the value of its business. I am hardly the only person who has advocated these points. When I wrote and spoke about GameStop on social media with other individual investors, our conversations were no different from people in a bar or on a golf course or at home talking or arguing about a stock. Hedge funds and other Wall Street firms have teams of analysts working together to compile research and analyze shares of companies. Individual investors do not have those resources. Social media platforms like Reddit, YouTube, and Twitter are leveling the playing field. The idea that I use social media to promote GameStop stock to unwitting investors and influence the market is preposterous. My post did not cause the movement of billions of dollars into GameStop shares. It is tragic that some people lost money, and my heart goes out to them. But what happened in January just demonstrates again that investing in public securities is extremely risky. As I said earlier, I consider myself and my family fortunate with our investment. When the stock price broke $20 in December, I knew my investment was a success. I was so happy to visit my family in Brockton for the holidays. The money will go such a long way for us. We had an incredibly difficult 2020. Most difficult was the tragic and unexpected loss of my sister Sarah in June. I am grateful to be in a position to give back to and support my family. As for what happened in January, others will have to explain it. It's alarming how little we know about the inner workings of the market. And I am thankful that this committee is examining what happened. I also want to say that I support retail investors' right to invest in what they want, when they want. I support the right of individuals to send a message based on how they invest. As for me, I like the stock. I'm as bullish as I've ever been on a potential turnaround for GameStop, and I remain invested in the company. Thank you. Cheers, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Gill.
Yes, of course. I do. I believe it's an opportunity for investors to participate in the market just as institutionals participate.
Okay, so actually, the business channels had a good question from one of the Reddit readers, which is, so you recommended GameStop before. Would you buy their stock now at roughly 45? It started at 48 earlier today. You were talking about buying it and being happy when it hit cross 20. So are you buying that stock today?
Well, let me just say that investing can be risky, and my particular approach to investing is rather aggressive and may not be suitable for anyone else. But for me personally, yes.
So yes or no, are you buying the stock? And
for me personally, yes, I do find it's an attractive investment at this price point.
quick question. Did you invest in GameStop because you were not aware of the payment for order flow? That's one of the accusations. People bought into this because they don't know that.
Sorry, could you repeat that question?
Did you buy GameStop because you were not aware of the payment for order flow?
My investment in GameStop was based on the fundamentals.
Okay, I think that answers it. I believe my time has expired.
Thanks, Madam Chair. Mr. Gill, let's start with you since you seem to have started all of this. You began analyzing GameStop in the summer of 2019. Was that your testimony?
I wanted to know. Yes.
Congressman, I've been following GameStop for a number of years. I started to buy into it in June of 2019, most recently.
Hey, so back then, what was the price of the stock when you started investing in it?
At the time, it was in the ballpark of around $5 per share.
Okay, and in your analysis, what did you think a proper price for the share was? Because you thought you were getting a good buy.
Sure. At the time, I thought that the value of the business could be worth up to roughly $2 billion.
Okay, but how much is that per share? Just bring it back to you bought it 5, you thought it was worth 10, 20?
I felt as though that it could be worth at the time in the range of say $20 to $25 per share.
Okay. And you continued to invest on and off through 2019 and 2020. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. And you also you bought some shares, but you also did some options trading, did you not?
Correct, I did.
And options trading is not really for the novice investor, is it?
It is a riskier investment, yes.
Okay. On January 27th, I think the stock price hit $483 or something like that. Is that true?
I believe.
Was the subreddit Wall Street Bets platform, correct?
Correct.
And at any given time, how many people were you talking to on that platform?
I wasn't so much talking to anyone individually, but rather making posts on that public forum.
That GameStop was an attractive stock.
Yeah, early on, I had felt that it was an attractive investment opportunity, and I had shared some of my thoughts as to why that was.
Did you discuss this on any other platforms? Are there any other kinds of Reddit or other kinds of platforms that you talked about the stock?
Yes, I have talked about the stock on some other platforms.
Okay. Did you ever talk about the short sellers that had bet against this company?
Yes, the topic did come up.
And about when did that occur?
Oh, since around the time I had begun investing in it, it was, as someone else has noted, it was an exceptional level of short interest in the stock since the time I had started investing in it.
One of the things I tell.
I appreciate that, Congressman. I do. I don't have anything to add at this time, just that I would be the first to acknowledge that investing in stocks and options is
Let this softman.
We're going to own the biggest company in the fucking world, and we're going to call it whatever the fuck we want. We're going to do whatever the fuck we want, because we're not listening to any of the shit that people put us through in 1998, in 2008, and they're trying to fucking do it again now. And we're not taking it anymore. We're not taking it anymore. We know what you did. We know what you did to our communities. We know what you did to our country. We know you did to our countries. We know what you did to the insurance companies that were supposed to provide for people. We know how you fuck things up now. And you're going to get fucked up.
again, as we've learned recently over the last few days, that even though people will tell us we're wrong, all we really need is to believe in ourselves. It doesn't matter what anybody else says, because like the same way that I don't know the future and I've predicted every price move for fucking ages, these other people don't know the future, right? All we can go on is a likely probability. And we've got the tools to see what the likely probabilities are. Those other people's tools are not believing in you, thinking that you always come up with silly ideas, that you're never going to achieve anything, that never ever ever will you ever be right, and that they always know better. They'll even try to convince you that you don't deserve the level of success that would come from you being right in your hypothesis. They would think that it's not going to happen simply because they don't like you. And what do we say to those people? We say, go fuck yourself, right? Go fuck yourself at $38. Go fuck yourself at $120. Go fuck yourself at $138. Go fuck yourself some more at $140. Completely go and get fucked at $156. Absolutely fuck you and everything you've ever touched or been anywhere near in your entire existence at $179. And then up at $197 we say, if you want to come back here so that we can fucking headbutt you into next week, then come on round, mate, and we'll do it. That's the level of self-belief we've got here. It isn't some fucking, oh, this is why it's going to go here, this is why it's going to go there. We haven't got any fucking time for interest, no interest or time for explaining that to people. We already know, right? We knew ages ago. We own the fucking company. We're not going to listen to any of the bollocks FUD. If anything, I know the people in here who were talking to me last night, some of whom are here, they're buying more and more and more of it, right? Look at the questions you get in chat. Where do I buy? Where can I get in? Is there any chance it'll go down so I can buy some more? People come along to this channel, they ask that and they never come back, and they go and buy it, right? When they hear the price. That's the sort of questions you get. No one's coming in here and saying, when do I sell? When do I get rid of it? Those people who tell you don't believe, they'll be saying now like, oh, you were lucky that one time, this shit doesn't work out, you better sell it. The other shite that's just based on their own conditioning to living in shit, living in muck, never being able to stand up and get out of it. And they're content with life. The same way a pig is content when it's rolling in shit. But is it happy? Is it happy? Is it as happy as it could be? Yeah, no, not when it knows it's actually going to get fucking chopped up and stuck in a burger later on that week. Fucking it isn't, right? And that's not our fate. That's not our fucking fate. Anyway. There. That was how I felt there.
You have a new...
Hi chat. There is importance to evil, as well as good in human nature. I am despicable, because I give free rein to violent impulses against the hedgies. But that sense of freedom is also what makes me human. These streams, the numbers who tune in, the passion with which we crave the destruction of those who control us, illustrates the extreme of both freedom and suppression. There are those who would stand against us. They rightly claim we are unreasonable. They correctly accuse me of being filthy-mouthed, a raging aggressor, and they try to distinguish themselves. They are hypocrites. They fail to understand that we have higher ethics. Where we are going, there is only one end. It's a bloodbath, it's a massacre, it's a hellfire of fannies. If you can't handle me saying, go fuck yourself, to our enemies, if you don't appreciate my tone and my untamable anger, you have no place where we are going. You will not have the stomach for the ultra-violence that is to come. We are the product of evil. We were born into a world of thieves and liars. If you don't understand now, you never will.
We are the natural-born human reaction to the bastards that run the world, and we'll have our fucking bananas!
As I've said before, I'm not a fan of the parasocial thing with YouTube. I want to feel as if I'm speaking to you directly. Also, I like to know what you're all about. You know, I like to understand the differences between people. Oh my god, this is really going to annoy me, this microphone. Pushing back, right? What do you do when evil pushes against you? Do you push back? Do you feel an urgent need to assume that responsibility? I would ask you, do you find truth to be something worth pursuing, or do you find virtue inconvenient? Which is entirely understandable position. In a world of counterfeit heroes and broken systems of power, it's easy to think that you as an individual can't make a change. That's by design. So if you walk around like a mindless, soulless, feckless fanny who thinks the only way to get along is to go along with all the shit that went before you, then hey, I understand what got you into that position. I do, I truly understand. We understand that it is true, the systems of power are broken, and those who benefit are those in charge. The market, the dynamics, they're far too large and insidious for us to change on our own. We can't do it as individuals. You're expected to sit down, you're expected to shut up. Usually evil isn't so easy, right? Usually evil isn't so obvious. Usually it doesn't stand right in front of us asking for a fight. It's normally harder to pin down, usually. Normally, it's not just the rules against us, right? But normally the disorganized nature of irresponsibility and that idea of collective responsibility, it undermines our efforts to be ethical. How can we go through every day knowing all the torture and pain that we inflict and is inflicted on us because of the systems in which we live? We can't face that every day. We have to shut some of it off. So usually we can't fight back because we can't find them. Normally, even if we do, we're too disorganized to do anything about it. And reasonable people are the ones telling us just to sit down and shut up about it. But this isn't usually. Evil stands right before us. This isn't normally. We have each other's backs. And we aren't listening to reasonable people. We're going to destroy our enemy so emphatically and violently that we change the world around us. And we have a meaningful course of action. We have a radical path. And it's simple. We buy and hold GME. This isn't financial advice. So this isn't usually, this isn't normally, and we're not interested in reasonable. We have each other's back.
Imagine
if you
the
feel
sense-
alone and worried when price action goes against you, remember, there are millions of us. And if prices drop in any way significantly, millions more will join our ranks. So we're taking the meaningful course of action. We're taking the radical path. And quite clearly, we're buying GME, holding GME, and then buying more GME.
I'm getting some work done.
Apes together strong. We ought to stay liquid longer than the markets can stay irrational. I say we need to stay irrational longer than those markets can stay liquid. We face a trifecta of regurgitation from the media industry and news. The lack of integrity in the message is frustrating. Ignorance is exploited, though not that of the risk management of the retail trader, but instead the darker operations of the markets. We are called the apes for lots of different reasons, but that which resonates most strongly with me is this idea that we are irrational. The truth is, we are in control of our own psychology. We fight for our mind as we would our body. We are indeed irrational. In fact, we're never ever going back to reasonable land. We are the greatest show in the history of the stock.
When we're new to trading, we quickly realize how it's going to change our entire lives. Financially, sure, but the psychological torture that we're eagerly signing up for is obvious.
What in the fuck is this? All right, comfort brains.
There are types of risky behavior that we would be prepared to do ourselves, but we would not prescribe for others.
What the fuck are you even doing here? Sir! I got lost on the way to college, sir!
The type of people who trade want to change their own life and the world around them. They want to make their own decisions and be rewarded appropriately. They want to take risks. You might want a life of comfort and safety. You might be trying to rebuild a world you already know. You don't have to be an adventure-seeking pioneer to write your own story. Candles quickly become dildos. Your shirt is a blouse. And you like getting filled BTFing the effing D with your BFFs. So what sort of person ends up here? Let me know your favourite stonk in the comments. Our aptitude for trading has no correlation with our work experience, our background, our qualifications, our social skills. The markets don't care if we are smart, funny, popular, or good looking. Trading is an individual pursuit that demands courage and strength, but nothing superhuman is required. We are all drawn to the chaos of the market and how it steels us against infinite, never-ending risk. Its ambivalence, magnitude, and danger are to us fairness, equality, and opportunity. We come from all backgrounds, all colours, stripes, and shapes.
You are no longer black, or brown, or yellow, or red. You are now green. You are light green, or dark green. Do you understand? Sir, yes, sir!
We rely upon and demand equality of access and opportunity. Some of us want to express our opinion on the stonks of companies whose missions and vision matches our own. We may arrive at the same decisions, but we don't do it as others have decided to do so.
It was like an alarm went off in my head, you know? I said, here's a guy that's got his act together. Here's somebody who's got it all figured out. Here's somebody who has the answer.
We do it because we like the stonk. Trading risk is applying our budget to statistical likelihoods. We each have a different budget, and the market conditions are constantly in flux. So every risk, every decision, and every reward is our own. Your trading journey is your own story. You don't have to be bestowed with knightly virtues or born into privilege. You don't have to travel to other worlds to fight dragons and monsters. As traders, our story isn't told in retrospect. We become the authors of our own lives. We all begin our own hero's journey and learn about the conflicts and paradoxes within ourselves that makes life so interesting. We create the story that we want to live.
nightmares in my head. I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove.
I got nightmares in my head. I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head. I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. It sucks when you finally feel like giving up. Oh God, no luck, everything feels like you're sticky stuck. I'm lost, handcuffed to the bed where I sleep, don't give a fuck. Can't stop, unplug, feeling overwhelmed, I think I've had enough. Gotta find a way to get some energy, gotta find someone who's a good friend of me. I need purpose to make it all worth it, I'm still searching and I'm still learning. I want a life that's filled with memories, not a life with regret and frenemies. I need focus to keep me from hopeless psychosis if I keep moping.
I got nightmares in my head. I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head. I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way, so you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay, cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency, a message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy, hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe, I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me. I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way, so you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way, so you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude shit my way, so you can go kick rocks. I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say, yeah, I'ma do shit my way, so you can go kick rocks. I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
I can't go any further than this.
Yo, VIP. Let's kick.
To the top, floating on this cream. Who the hell wanna stop me? I hate those who doubt me. A million refugees with unlimited warranties. Black Caesar, dating top skeezers. Diplomatic legalese, no time for a visa. They just begun, I'm gonna shoot them one by one. The five sides to me, something like a pentagon. Strike with the forces of King Solomon. Letting bygones be bygones and so on and so on. I'm teaching this cat how to live in the ghetto. Keeping it retro, spectre from ghetto. Lay low, let my mind shine like halo. But politics and ghetto, senators on D-Lo. And you don't stop. Yo, my eyes are sore. Being a senator, being closed